Imagine finding out that your teenage daughter is pregnant. Not because she told you, but because she was getting diaper ads addressed to her in the mail. According to a Forbes article written by Kashmir Hill, this is exactly what happened to a man in Minneapolis, who kept getting baby ad products in the mail addressed to his daughter. He stormed to his nearest Target and demanded an explanation as to why Target is encouraging teens to get pregnant, only to find out days later that she actually was. Most of you would think it would be creepy if someone congratulated you on your pregnancy if you never told them that you were pregnant, and also pretty scummy to try to taunt a recovering alcoholic with some gin. Oddly enough, would you feel the same way if it was a corporation doing it instead of a person? You may not realize what you're getting yourself into when you signed that terms and conditions agreement and do not consider your privacy online to be a big deal. Besides, I'm not doing anything wrong is what most people think. Although it is obvious that companies use this data to personalize ads, is there actually any additional harm in sharing your personal information with them? Well, yes. There's plenty of reasons to care about what private information these corporations have access to. Despite every company requiring you to fill out a terms and conditions form to access or participate in their loyalty programs, access their services, goods, you aren't just accepting their ability to use their information, but also for other third-party applications and whoever else your data gets sold to. Yes, they can legally sell your data. How are they able to do this, you ask? The simple answer is that you agree to it in the terms and conditions. The more complex answer is that there is a very poor regulatory environment surrounding data protection on the internet. There are plenty of rights organizations that try to advocate for data security, one of the most prevalent being the California Consumer Privacy Act, which details basic rights such as the right to know about personal information that a business collects and how it intends to share and use that data, as well as the right to limit said data. However, I would like to bring attention to a more sinister way it can be used, which is through APIs, which allow third-party applications to integrate with other applications by creating a means of access to communicate and exchange data. According to a review paper published by ResearchGate by Oliveira and Visser from Trend Micro titled "The Role of API Vulnerabilities and Real-World Data Breaches," there are numerous ways companies can be vulnerable and exposed to API-related attacks and have data stolen, which may include your data. This puts any information you shared with that company in the hands of malicious attackers. Regardless of whether you sign up or accept terms and conditions of a product or service, you are still not completely safe either. Your phone itself is tracking you, and no, I don't mean listening to you. They don't need to. What they're capable of doing is far worse than just listening. According to a very engaging New York Times article written by Jennifer Valentino de Veras and colleagues, which I highly recommend checking out, our phones can track us up to 14,000 times per day. This is even more concerning when you realize one of the devices tracked was a child going to and from school. The article stated that companies that use location data say that people agree to share their information in exchange for customized services, rewards, discounts, etc. However, what these consumers don't know is that their information could be in the hands of malicious attackers and other applications that they did not authorize through the API or selling of their data. So, is all hope lost? Do we have no choice but to accept our tech overlords' reign on our personal data? Not quite. Although we have a long way to go when it comes to data protection infrastructure in our politics, it doesn't mean you can't do something now to protect yourself. A Stanford Report review article details 7 ways we can keep our data safer. This includes not thinking you have nothing to hide, choosing cookies and browsers wisely, getting familiar with global privacy control, turning off your location data when you don't need it, don't depend on incognito mode, cover your cameras, and continue to make your voice heard. If enough of us express our concern for privacy, lawmakers simply will not be able to ignore our requests. Remember, it isn't about having something to hide, and more about having something to protect.